Hello, this is Sandy from Doux Designs. Who's gonna join me tonight? Okay, let's kind of talk a little bit about our plans for tonight. So I'm going to start by cutting this out while I talk to you guys, since I need to cut this out and we need to wait for a couple of people to get here. So I don't mind fussy cutting before I color, but some people don't like it. So you got to do what works for you. Hi, Diana. We are going to use the monkey from the new Rock On set for tonight. But we're going to do a Christmas card. So we are not going to do a birthday card or that type of celebration card, because I want to show how we can use these and they'll look Christmassy. So you have lots of options with this new set that we have in the shop. And I'm very excited about it. I love it when there's a set you can use for so many things. So the bundle that you can get includes the ephemera as well. And we are going to use a piece of the ephemera with this after we color our adorable monkey tonight. And then we're going to put our card together. It's going to be a layered card. There's going to be quite a few layers on it. It's going to be super cute. I can't wait. But just so you know, I used a few of the layering dies that I have that are in a rectangle shape, and I cut the paper already. So you won't have to watch me do that since you're watching me do this. Hey Diana, how's it going? Anybody want to say hi so I can make sure I can see comments? That would be super great. I would be oh so happy. Oh yes, yours went out already, Diana. Hi Barbara. How are you today? Do you have your stamps, Barbara? I bet you do. So we're going to use the monkey tonight as a recap, just saying. But when a few more people arrive, I want to give you guys some upcoming information with Doux Designs. All good news, nothing bad, just all good news. But I wanted to wait until we at least had a few more people on here. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? You're on the elliptical. Go you. You're better than me tonight, for sure. I am so tired. I was just sitting here thinking how tired I was. Never too tired to color, but definitely feeling a little bit tired this week. Especially today. But we're going to use this little monkey. We're going to make a Christmas card tonight because I'm in the Christmas card making mode. You know, I got to get my stuff done. All right. So this is the Rock On set. You could really use any one of these. But since our card we made the last time used these two, I thought we'd use the monkey tonight. And let me tell you, the drum guy is coming up soon, I promise. And then I chose the Scrappy Boy paper pad. I love Christmas. I got this one. He was selling them out on clearance at the expo. So I'm not sure if this one's still available or not, but this is the second time I've had it, and I used all of it the first time. So I thought, well, why not? Maybe I'll roll with it one more time. So I'm excited about that. Here's the little guys for real. I don't know if we'll use the music notes tonight or not, But we just have to wait until we put the card together to see what we're going to do with them. But this is the stamp set that we're using. This is the link. You guys, most of you on here right now already know how to get to the link. But if you don't, there you go. That's your way of getting to the link. Now, this monkey, there are many different colors you could do. When I do it, I like to do the face in a lighter color and then the fur in a darker color. So that's what we're going to roll with tonight. And then his clothes are going to be in red and green and blue. Well, you see I have my blue pulled out. So it's going to be red, green, and blue. And you'll see why, because the papers that I picked are also red and blue and green. So this is all the mess that we'll get back to when we get ready to do our card. Those are all the pieces we're going to use. So right now, let's go ahead and color. I have chose my colors for the monkey skin and fur. And the only colors I haven't picked are my green colors. So we'll get to that. But everything else I already picked. So here we go. Here's our cute little monkey. Isn't he just the cutest? He just makes you so happy. Okay, so let's start out for him. Let's just start out with his tongue to get rolling. So tonight I chose R22, so a little bit more pink-ish than what I normally do. I usually do R11 and 12, but I wanted this. I'm going to go over this black just to make this inside of his mouth a little bit darker. You won't be able to tell it's pink, but I decided to go a little darker because he is going to be singing Christmas carols, so I just wanted him to be happy. R20 is the other color that I'm going to use for this one. So I'm just going to go from the opposite end into the pink color so we can blend that together. There we go. All done. That's the easiest part. But he is going to be on a Christmas card. I'm really excited about that. Now, I want to also put a little bit of pink in his ears, so I'm just going to use the R20. And I'm just going to put it in there right now, but we're going to blend it out a little bit with some of the light brown colors as we go along. But I just want to go ahead and get a little bit of that in there. I'm going to do that second coat real close to the inside of his ear, just so it's a little bit darker than the other part. We could have used 22, but you know. I'm not going to do a base coat like we normally do when we do skin tone. We usually do like a base coat to wet the paper. I'm not going to do that tonight with our monkey. So you're going to see what it looks like when you don't do that. But I am going to pick fairly close to skin tones. So I'm going to pick E21, E51, and E00 for this part of his face and the inside of his ears. So it's going to stay fairly light, being that we're using an E21. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in there and start doing that shadowing around the shape of his face. I'm going to do a little bit over here on his cheek and a little bit down this side. Now, because the inside of his ears are also going to be this light brown color, we only have 3 colors up, so I'm adding a little bit of extra on there. I also want to put a little bit over his nose. Start building that nose out a little bit. And then just along this one line on the inside of the ear. Just like that. He's really cute. He's a lot of fun. I like these images. I like them when they're little animals and you can make them so happy and so cute. And then that makes me happy too. Here's E51. I kind of think that we should do a little bit on his cheeks since he's singing so loudly. So I'm going to take this R20 And before I use the 51, I'm just going to touch the pink a little bit and kind of add it here. I don't want it to be really pinky because he's not really a girl. I just wanted to have a little bit of pink in there. So I'm just going to add that first so we can get that settled while we work on the rest of it. And then I'm going to take a piece of paper and I'm just going to wipe off the end of my brush so I can get any of that pink off of there so we can keep going. So you can tip to tip anytime. Just do the lighter color. Touch the darker color's nib with your lighter color marker and then wipe it off when you're done. That's it. That's all there is to it. So I'm just spreading this down a bit and out. These are pretty easy to color characters. I mean, you can go very detailed, but you can also go very simple, which we're kind of doing tonight. More of a simple pattern. But they're really easy, but they're super cute. So this is the end of the 51. So you saw how fast that was. And then we have the E00, and you could use E000 if you prefer. It's kind of up to you on how light or dark you want your little guy to be. So I'm just going to blend over the whole thing with a clean sweep, just like that. That way this top section that didn't have any in it gets a little bit, but not too much. I don't want to blend my colors together. I want to be able to see them all. Still want to be able to see the light and the dark. So I'm only touching the paper with maybe a pressure of 1 because I want it to stay really, really light. A little bit darker around here because that's where the shadow would be. And then I think I'm just going to leave him like that. We'll see if we need more after we put the darker brown for fur, then we'll worry about that later. But for right now, I feel like this is a good start for us. What are the rest of you guys doing? I know we have somebody on the elliptical working out. What's everybody else doing? Because you guys sure are quiet. My fur colors are going to be E27, 25, and 23. And if I need it, I'll pull in the 21 we used on the skin. That way we get multiple use out of the markers. We're going to start with E27. You guys want to hear some news since nobody else jumped on here? I guess you get the news first. I just finished my hour. Wow. Oh my goodness. I bet you are trying to catch your breath. So if you guys, if there's stuff in the shop that you've been wanting to pick up, but you've been waiting, we are going to have a Black Friday sale. It's coming. It won't be on the new release, but everything else will be in the sale, pretty much, except for the Barely Art glue. That's the only thing we can't, because of our contract with Barely Art, we can't lower the price more than we already have. So we keep the price fairly low, but they have a limit on what you can do. So the glue will be excluded, and this new release that we're working on will be excluded. Everything else will be in the sale. So you'll want to watch for that because it's going to be pretty good. We're also going to leave the 75% free shipping on there as well. So you will be able to use the sale and the free shipping if you purchase $75. So just kind of giving you two benefits there if you'd like. And we're excited about it. We are not going to do sales very often because, you know, we don't have a lot of product right now. We don't want to sell all of it. I mean, we do, but not all at one time, you know. So, but we wanted to be able to give you a Black Friday sale. It will probably be longer than Black Friday. Oh, you want a marker holder? Well, there you go. That'll be your time to do it. We're going to do it probably for a week around the Black Friday time frame. So you'll want to be watching for when we start announcing it. You're just getting the sneak peek on it because you're visiting on the live. See, you learn everything when you join the lives. When you don't join the lives, you don't know. Also, I have a meeting coming up with the girl who's helping me with the retreat, so we should have more to come on that very, very soon. I am really excited. It's still a go, so make sure you're saving your date on April 16th to 19th so that you can come and join me. It is going to be a little bit coloring heavy, so you're going to be learning how to color from the basics on. So it's a good refresher. If you already know a little bit about coloring, it's really good for a beginner as well. And there'll be practice sheets and we'll work on it and we'll talk about it and I will teach you. There's also going to be a couple of projects that we'll do as well. So you'll have a finished project, a finished, card or project or whatever to take home as well. There'll be open time for questions, things like that. So I think that you'll just love it. It gives you a lot of time. There'll be one-on-one time. If you'd like to have one-on-one time with me, there's that opportunity as well. So you can shop there. I haven't determined if I'll have anyone else, but I'm anticipating I'm going to be asking a few others if they'd like to collaborate and we could use some of their die cuts since I don't really have any. So I haven't really gotten that resolution yet, so I can't really say that yet, but I am trying to look into that to help you guys out with that as well. It will be in Vegas, so know that going into it. It will be in Vegas. And it's very close to the airport, so easy to get to. So you won't have any problems getting any of that done. Okay, I like his colors. I want to darken his face just a little bit. So I'm going to go back in now with this E21 one more time. And I want to kind of put a few little places where I'd like it to be a little bit darker. Like right around the face line here. And then right in here where the cheeks come up and he has like a super happy face. He looks like he's smiling. And then I'm going to do the inside of the ear as well. So there we go. Just wanted to make it a little bit darker. Now I'm going to use the E51 to blend that out, but I'm not going to use the E00. You see, I just put that up there after I said I wasn't going to. There we go. That's the right one. And that's why I should be using my Copic holder so I don't mess up the colors. So I'm going to blend that out. You can do, I will be teaching in both Copic and Olo. So if you have Olo markers and not Copics, you can use those as well. So don't worry about that. I will have conversion colors for each one when I'm coloring with the other one. So you will always feel comfortable with whichever one that you're bringing. There we go. Now we got him just a little bit darker. I think he looks a little bit better like that. I think I'm going to go back in because with my 27 and darken up his shadow areas on the brown as well. I didn't want to make him too dark, so I was a little bit nervous about that color in the beginning, so I wasn't sure if I was going quite dark enough. And that happens. So this is what you can do if you don't go dark enough the first time. You can always add in some color. You don't have to use every color you used. You can just use a few of them just to deepen up that color a little bit. Give them a little better shadow look. I kind of like that. It sort of to me, it sort of gives the pop color. You know, it makes the image pop. So that's why I like to add in a little bit extra. I don't know, his hands and his neck seem to be good, but the rest seem to be lacking just a little bit in darkness. So, gonna go to the 25. I'm hoping we don't have to do the 23 as well, but we'll see. We may need to, just to get it to smooth out a little bit. But I do want to keep this a little bit darker. See? So you can put a second layer on there if you want. I don't do that a lot, but occasionally I feel like I need just a little bit more. I kind of like this. I don't want to go too much darker though, especially with this marker, because for some reason it looks a little bit on the sticky side. That's never a good thing. That usually means I should put that marker aside and clean it. E27 and probably 25 now that I touched the other color with it, and probably 23 by the time we get done. So I'm going to do this to blend the color out, but I'm only going to touch in the light area. I don't want to go over the other colors because it fades my color a little bit, and I want to keep it this darker color. So we're really just touching a little bit of this E23 in that light area to kind of blend that out. And then I like that color. I think that's better. It's a little bit darker. It makes me a little bit happier. So there we go. I'm just going to touch a little bit in here. There we go. All right, so now we have him ready to go. I'll hold him up so you can see. So when I said I thought it was sticky, you see, can you see the shiny area on there? There's a little one right here. See? It's like this little bit of shiny right there. It's because the marker nib is a little bit sticky. So I kind of wait for it to dry, and then I use, when I'm done coloring, I use this high polymer eraser. And if you go over top of it, just make sure you wait for it to dry or it'll smear. You go over it and you just erase over top of where it's sticky. Just like this. And then it's a lot better, and see, it takes away all that shine and sticky look. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. I like that. I do that a lot on my images if I think it looks shiny and I don't want it to. That's my process. Just so you know, that's a little tip and trick for you. I'm going to, oh, thanks. I'm glad you like this little monkey. He's so cute. I like him too. I think I used different colors for him on here. A little bit different. For the green color that I want to use, it's a lot lighter on the background pattern paper that I chose. So I'm going to go with a more yellow green, if you will. I think I'm going to try this combination. So YG67, YG17, and then YG25. And we'll go lighter if we need to. But I want to make his jacket green. So we're going to start with that. So I'm going to start with that YG67. And I want the lining of his jacket, so the sides, this part right here, and the hoodie, all to be the darker color. And then his little pocket liners right here, all in the darker color around his wrist. And then this up here underneath his head in this dark color. The next color will get a little bit lighter because it'll start going into that yellow-green color rather than a green color. But we're going to try to put him in clothes that make him look a little bit more Christmassy. YG17 is the next one. So I'm just going to blend out from where I put that original color, just extending it and leaving just highlight areas for that last YG color. Well, I'm glad you guys are here with me, even though you're a little quiet tonight. Glad I'm not alone. It's always nice to have company. Plus, it's waking me up a little bit. I'm not feeling quite as tired as I was before. YG25 is next. So that's where we're going to just finish blending this out. In all the areas. Just kind of back and forth. Blend those colors together. Get that smooth look that we're working on. Nothing too strenuous because I have this big huge bruise on my thumb. All on my whole thumb. Not really sure what I did, but I have to be a little careful with it because it's sore. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the YG17 for the inside of his jacket. You're tired for some reason, long day at work for me, I guess. You know, maybe I think that, like, maybe it was the time change that's been throwing everything off, because I can't think of what else it is, but I have been so tired the last few days. So maybe you're feeling that too. Barbara, maybe. Although it's been a long day at work every day for me lately. A whole lot of calls and a whole lot of stress. Not with this business, with my other job. Yes, I have another job besides running my own business. I'm a busy girl. Busy. That is true. I wish they would get rid of that time change. Yeah, me too. Why do we even need that? I don't really get it. Then it gets dark too early and and you feel like it's the middle of the night. It just is such a bummer. YG25 is next. So I'm going to finish the jacket. So a lot more of the YG25 on the actual jacket. Keep that kind of light. It just makes like a trip to the store or whatever just feel so late when you have to go after work. You're like, oh man, it's already late. I'm tired. I don't want to go. But it's really the same time you would have went because it was still light out before. But just feels weird. Okay, so we have a bright green jacket. This green jacket is perfect for the papers we chose. And I'm excited about them. I'm going to skip the shirt and skip the shoes for right now because I want to use red. And I tend, for red, sometimes if you touch it with the other nib of the marker, sometimes you can end up with red in your other colors. So I like to use red last when I know I'm going to use red. I'm going to do the soles of his shoes in brown, even though I usually tend to do them in black. I feel like it'll keep it all flowing together in the same colors if I just stick with the E27 and 25, even though they need to be cleaned. If they're shiny, we'll just wipe it off. But they look like they worked, fairly okay that time. It's probably because, look how dirty this marker is. See how dirty that marker is? That's about as dirty as mine get. So it accumulates all this ink right here. And every time I put the marker in there, if I touch any of that dried up ink right there, that jellied ink, it will clog the nib of my marker, which is why I say maintenance, marker maintenance is so important. So here is the blue, B97, 95, 93, and B52. Those are the colors we're going to use on his pants. And they also match the background colors of the card. So here we go. I'm going to put the 97 toward underneath the shirt because there'll be some shadow there. And underneath the jacket. And I usually put it on the pockets too because the pockets usually stay fairly dark. Then wherever the artist put the lines, I'm going to enhance those with this darkest color. So we don't lose them when we're coloring it in. And I'm going to assume this guy's little pants are bunched up over his shoes. So I'm going to make the part over his shoes pretty dark as well. So there we go. So how do you clean your caps of your markers? Oh, that's a very good question. Okay. So I have this emergency kit on my desk all the time. And I have also, where's that little bowl with all the, hold on one second. I think I ran out of Q-tips. Oh, they're in the bathroom. Give me 1 second and I will run and get the Q-tips and I will show you. Okay, I'm back super fast. I keep this on my desk as well. It's what usually has all the Q-tips in it, but I guess when I was cleaning the other day, I ran out. And I just keep them in there like that. And then I use this to clean the caps. And it's really important that you don't touch the nib of the marker in this because this is 90% alcohol. It is not what's in the colorless blender. Oh, look, I found my other Q-tips. Ta-da! I have a napkin just so I don't spill anything. This is the cap that I said was gross. Oh, no, it was on 25, I guess. 27. Ah, there we go. There it is. So I take the Q-tip and I dip it in this 90% alcohol. And then I rub it along the edge of the marker right here to clean this part off. And I try really hard not to touch the nib. So if I need to, sometimes I'll do it like this. You know, just whatever I got to do to get this part cleaned off. Just like that. So now that looks way better, except for that one spot right there. And then I take this Q-tip and I put it in the cap and I just start cleaning it. And I'll go all the way down in here. Sometimes this can take a while, but it is well worth it. If you clean them often enough, you don't have to worry about this, but if you don't do it for a long time, you're going to end up with an extremely dirty marker. I'm going to just wipe this out. You have two options. You can now let it sit and dry, or you can wipe it out with a dry Q-tip before you put it back on the marker. So once I dry it all out, then it can go right back on the marker. And you're done. That's it. Super easy. Super, super easy. Now they're inside here. You can see those little things. I'll pick them up. They are baby wipes cut into little squares. And if my marker is really, really dirty, then I'll just take the whole little square and stick it in the cap and squish it down with my tweezers all the way down into the cap, and it cleans the whole thing in one sweep. So if yours are really, really dirty, I'd recommend using those. So 90% alcohol on a paper towel. And is there liquid alcohol in that jar? Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. And I'll show you what it looks like. I buy it at like, I think we buy this at Walgreens. Oh, wait, it says Walgreens on it. See? 91% isopropyl alcohol. It's fairly inexpensive, but I just pour some of that in here with the little baby wipes. This jar I got from Michael's, super cheap. You could probably get one at the dollar store. When I close it up, it keeps it pretty secure so the alcohol stays in there for a while. If I don't use it for like a month or so, the alcohol evaporates a little bit, but you can always just add more. And I always keep that handy. It's like my emergency kit. Some Q-tips. I like the Q-tips that have the plastic thing, but that's a personal preference. These are the ones that are paper. I just feel like the plastic are more firm for me. But if you're going to clean the nib or anything else that, or if you're afraid you'll touch the tip of the marker, then when you're going around the tip, when you're going around it like this, if you're afraid you're going to touch the nib, you need to use the colorless blender. So this is the clear colorless blender solution. It's what they mix in with pigment to get every one of these markers made. So there's some of this in every marker. So you can't hurt the nib if you're using this. So you could clean that with this and then use the alcohol on the caps. You just can't get it in there because it is not good for the marker to have the 91% alcohol in it. But when you get it down, you're pretty good and you don't have any problems. If you have a problem, you can always replace the nibs. These are nib replacements. I always have them handy. I'd also weigh it when you clean it and just make sure it doesn't need any more ink in it. And that's marker maintenance. It's usually fairly quick, especially if you don't leave too many of them at a time to clean. I also don't recommend changing sides. Like, I know when you put your caps back on, sometimes you accidentally like swap the sides, which is not a big deal. But if you know one is very dirty and you've been using it on this end over and over and over again, keep it there. Don't just say, oh, well, that one's dirty now and I don't use this end, so let's put this one over here and we'll put this one over here. Because in the end, you're going to have to clean both caps and you're going to hate yourself for doing it. Trust me, I did it once and I never do it again. Because it was so much work to clean both ends than it was to just clean the one you take the cap on and off of the most. So the longer you wait, the harder it is and the longer it takes to do it. I do them quarterly. I weigh every single marker and clean every cap that needs it quarterly. So, and in between, like you just saw, when I have a problem, I will clean them in between as well. So most of the time my markers don't have very much ink down here, but if you watch YouTube videos, yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about. It hurts me. I can't even watch videos when people's markers are completely dirty and yucky, because the whole time I'm like, oh, that marker's screaming for some help. That marker wants some help. Somebody help that marker. But, you know, it drives me crazy, so if your markers are dirty, I can't watch the video. No, I'm just kidding. I have watched some, but it does hurt me. It's painful for me to watch because I know how important it is. Hey, Peggy. Long time no see, Peggy. How are you? Thank you. I'm glad you like it. It is good information. It is really important. It really, really is important because having Copic markers is an investment. You won't have to replace them if you keep them maintained. But if you just don't mind throwing them away and buying a new one, well, then go for it. Just don't worry about the maintenance. But I can't do that. I want to preserve what I have. So I keep them clean and taken care of. There we go. Cute little pants with the B-52. I like to keep them nice and clean. And we're going to give him some red shoes to go with his red shirt. Just because, how fun is that? And the hardest ones to clean are red and black. This one's already getting dirty too. It's almost I think it's quarterly time now for me to go through all my markers. So I'll probably be doing that in the next week or so. I chose R59, R27, R46, and R24 for my red color combination. I'm going to start with the R59. I wasn't able to afford the Copic markers. My first investment in markers are Ohuhu markers. We have Ohuhu markers in the beginning too. In fact, they're so old they have the old numbering system. But Ohuhu is on my list of wishes, like my Christmas list and stuff, to get a collection of Ohuhu as well. I'd like to help everybody who likes to color, not just people who have Copics or people who have Olos. Those are the two I started with. I did use Ohuhu, but I kind of bought them for my husband because he wanted to learn how to color. I didn't really buy them. Somebody gave them to me, and I thought they would be a good test for him to learn. And then he just wanted to use my Copics, so I ended up buying him some Copics too. And now he doesn't even use those. He uses color pencils. So now I have a bunch of extra Copics. So I always tell people when they need one, let me know if I have it. I'd be more than happy to sell it to you for the cheap clearance price I bought it for. I probably have 100 and something of them. There we go. So we're getting his little red shoes colored up. He doesn't have a whole lot of his shirt showing, so I decided to put the darkest color around his neck, and then I'll start with the next color for going down on his shirt. I know a lot about the Copic markers, so you can always ask me anything. I'm trying to learn them on the all the Olo ins and outs. Not as fluent on Olo, but I will be. And then Ohuhu is next on my list. I'm late seeing the Northern Lights for the first time. Oh, can you see them from where you live, Beth? I'm jealous. I want to see the Northern Lights. That seems so awesome. This is R46. R46 is my favorite red. I just feel like it's a fire engine red color. And sometimes that red color is hard to find. So I like R46. But I'm not a bright red kind of gal anyway. Like real red versus cranberry red. I like the cranberry reds. I like the deep colors the most. But that's just me. R24 is the next color. Yes. Oh, that's so wonderful. I'm glad you got to see them. And you didn't even miss the live. You caught it. And what you missed was that I announced that we will be having a Black Friday sale, so stay tuned for that. The new release will not be included, and neither will Barely Art Glue because of terms and conditions of being able to sell Barely Art Glue. But everything else will be on sale. I'm with you on the deep reds. Those are my faves too. Yeah. The 89, the 59, the 39, and then the 46 to brighten it up makes me so happy. So happy. Okay, so I am going to use the multi-liner, but I'm going to open my new multi-liners because I really like this multi-liner. It's, this is, I think it's called Marvi Yukita. It's a lead pen, but it literally says that it is alcohol based, and that's really, really important. And I'll tell you, it literally says it on the pen. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy it because they just don't work as good as the ones that are literally, it says it right here. See, alcohol-based ink, which means it works with Copics and it won't bleed, all three of them. And you get the small one that we're going to use today. And then you get a bigger one, which is kind of a felt-ish tip, which works really good on glossy surfaces. And then this one is a really big tip. So if you wanted to do like dots, this one would be really good for that. But I got the 3 set. I love these things. I bought like a whole bunch of them so I could give some away at the, as prizes at the retreat. So in April. So if you like those and you come to the retreat, you could just win them. But yes, I love these pens, but I haven't been able to find them anywhere except that this place, Marvi Yukida. Marvyuchida. It's the only place. I had to go to their website to get it. But I love it. I mean, I really, really love it. So I'm going to go over his eyes just because I want them to stand out a little bit. And I feel like sometimes the Memento ink isn't as dark as I want it to be in some areas. So I'll go over them when I'm done with this multi-liner just to make them stand out. See, his eyes look a little better. And I think his mouth will look better too if I go over the inside of his mouth. So I'm just going to go along where those teeth are and then down here by where the tongue is. And then I'm just going to color that in and you'll see how different it looks. So it really makes it stand out a bit better. It just gives that little bit of extra oomph that it needed in order to make it look super cute. I'm not going to do his nostrils because I don't want his nose to stand out. I just want his eyes and his little mouth to stand out. So he's super cute. So yeah, he's in his Christmas colors because he's going to be on a Christmas card. And we're going to play with that right now. So I'm going to zoom out a bit so you'll be able to see. For some reason, the color seems to be, the color looks a lot better now. It seemed to be a little bit yellowish, but see here, this is what color he actually is. Really cute. I don't know why I'm getting like a yellow tint, but that's okay. We're all good. So before I decided what kind of card base I was going to do, I pulled out some of these, like these are stitched layered dies. There is another one that goes in between here, but I wanted to be able to see some of the background paper, so I skipped a level. And then I found this one that fits over top, well, kind of over top, pretty close, but not quite over top of this one, kind of like that, that has the pretty edges, and I wanted to use the pretty edges. So I cut this one first, and I decided to do it in a solid color. So I just ran it through my cutter and cut this blue color, which as you can see matches very nicely with his pants. And then for this one, I cut it out and then I trimmed off the stitching because it was a little bit bigger than this. And I wanted to make it smaller, so I cut it out and then I cut off the stitching. You see how I cut off the stitching edge so that it would fit inside here like this. And then I took this one and I made it a solid color again. So this one, right there. And then this one, I decided to make a pattern color, again with the stitching on there. And then that one fits on top of this one. So they're layered so that you'll have just this like 1/4 of an inch all the way around in between each layer. But remember, I skipped one between this one and this one, so you'd be able to see a little bit more of the pattern. So you can definitely do that when you make your cards. So I built this, and I thought it would be really cute to put to be his little stage. So he's going to go on there probably about right there, maybe up a little bit. So let's go ahead and put that together so you can see what it's all going to look like. Now, we don't want to pop up every layer, but I do want to pop up a couple of them. A couple of the layers. So I'm going to pull out this foam tape that I have. It was like this big around when I bought it, like bigger than you can see on the screen. It was really inexpensive, and I got it on Amazon. Just roll foam tape. You love the layers. I don't do layers like this too awful often, but I thought tonight I really felt like, you know, trying something a little different. So I am glad you guys like the layers. It takes up the space and doesn't make it look like your one little guy is on a card lost all by himself and lonely. If you have all these layers in here, it's going to look so much better. I did debate the different colors of the layers like a lot, but I decided to go with the peppermints because I really like the peppermints. Okay, my glue needs to be refilled. Do you guys have this Barely Art glue? Do you know how to refill it? It's pretty easy. But if you need help with that, let me know, because I really need to replace my glue. So I guess I could do a quick little speed video on how to do that. I didn't want it to have that much glue in the corner. So I'm going to center this right here. I mean, there's going to be less on the top and the bottom, and that's okay. There's going to be more on the sides, but as long as you get it in there fairly straight, you should be good. And then this excess glue, just rub your hands together like this. The glue turns into the little places, and then it's gone. It feels like no glue was ever on your fingers or your hands. So it's great for kids because you can just rub your hands with their hands and get the glue off. It works really great for my grandson. So I love this glue for that reason. Nobody likes sticky fingers that you're going to then touch the paper and mess up the paper. So I really like the Barely Art glue for that reason. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this one on top of this one, and then we'll pop this one up on there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on. Burp your glue when you refill. Yes. I have the press with the Barely Art glue, and that is hard to refill. So let me ask you, are you talking about, let me show you. I think I have what you're talking about. Not a huge fan of it, so it's in my drawer. But let me pull it out and see. Is it this? Is this what you're talking about? Is this the press that you said is hard to fill? This is the glue that it comes with, the Nouveau glue. It pops in there. This is the lid that goes on top of it. And then you squeeze it, and you're supposed to be able to like put the glue down, and you can put whatever glue you want in there. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. mine, I feel like you have to set it in there like perfect, or mine leaks glue or just doesn't work the way that I like. It doesn't sit up. And who has time to sit their thing in there like that? I mean, I just throw mine on my desk. So I'm not a fan. So I have one. I will probably eventually give it away to anyone who wants it. I don't like it. So I opened it up. It got glue everywhere. I used it for a short period of time, and then I said, yeah, no, I'm over it. It's not my thing. I don't know if I just got one that doesn't work that well, but I mean, I would think part of the key to it would be so it doesn't spill glue everywhere, and so many people have told me theirs doesn't do that. But it came with 2 glue bottles. I believe I already gave one away because I don't use that kind of glue. I also don't like the little tip that's on it. I prefer these kind that come on the Barely Art glue. So yeah, I'm just not a fan in any way, form, or fashion. It will eventually go to whoever says, oh my gosh, I really want that. And they can just pick it up or pay for shipping and they can have it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I feel like this is easy enough to press. I think people try to do it too difficult, try to make it more difficult than it is. When you're using Barely Art glue, you don't want to do it like this, like straight onto the paper, because you're blocking the distribution of the glue. So you have to hold the glue bottle to the side and press and just roll it along. It's super easy, and it doesn't have to be a lot of glue. All of that is plenty. So to me, it's not hard to squeeze. It's not hard to use. So I feel like I don't need the other thing. You've been trying to buy one, Cheryl? I don't know how expensive that would be to ship to you. I was setting my glue press in wrong, and it turned it around, and it works good. I'm glad that you like it. It's not for me, but not everything can be for everybody. But I'm glad you like it. And there are people that love it. And I'm happy that they love it, you know, but just isn't for everybody. I'm not saying it's a bad product. I mean, I'm sure it's a great product for those that like it and for that it works for, but it just doesn't work for me. I may have gotten one that just, I don't know. It might be user error. It might be that I just don't know what I'm doing, and that's okay. It could be that. It might have nothing to do with the thing, but I wanted it, and Dale bought it for me for Christmas last year, and it's been sitting in the box ever since. Like, I got it out. It was out for about a week, and then it went right back in the box, and it's been in there for almost a year. And I'm probably never going to get it out. So, I mean, seriously, if one of you guys wants to claim it and pay the shipping to ship it to you, then you can have it. I can make your day. So shipping it to you is a lot cheaper than buying one and having it shipped to you, even if you had free shipping. You have arthritis. It helps you. Yeah, I do too. I mean, like, you can see it like coming like in my hands. Like, this is the one that hurts the most with arthritis. Sometimes I have a lot of problems with these parts of my hands, but I'd rather do the glue. I'm trying all different ways. My hands are really bad. And now I'm so sorry, Cheryl. I know how frustrating that is. And I'm sure at some point I'm going to get to where I can't really use my hands that much either due to the arthritis. But right now I'm just going to call it a blessing that I can still craft with them and move on. But, I mean, some tools I get I really love. That just isn't one of them for me. Tried to give it a try again. Oh, you want me to try it again? Yeah. Well, maybe. But I don't know. I'm pretty happy with, I mean, I pretty much just kind of throw this bottle anyway all over the place, and I don't get it anywhere, and I don't ever, like, if I forget to cap it, it's still okay. So I don't really mind the bottle the way it is. It doesn't make me unhappy. I can't feel my hands. I've always wanted to try the press. You can't feel your hands. Do your hands go numb? I had carpal tunnel surgery on both my wrists already once. So, yeah, I know what you mean. So, I was thinking about popping this one up too. I don't know. Do you guys think that's too much? You pop 2 layers, or should I just leave it? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I'm going to start pulling out some. Yeah, I could just use my stuff. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I'll go ahead and work on something else while we think about whether we want to do that or not. Okay, so I said we were going to use something out of the ephemera, so I pulled the microphone out. Yes, pop it up? Okay, all right. So I pulled the microphone out because I really kind of wanted to use the microphone. And then I found these little labels that I have that I bought at a garage sale, no joke. I really bought them at a garage sale. That somebody had, like a little crafty garage sale. And they were Christmas, so they've been in my thing for a long time. They all have Christmas sentiments on them. So I found one that was a song, like let it snow, let it snow. Okay, so I found one that was a song, and that was the one that I wanted to use. I wanted to use We Wish You a Merry Christmas, but I don't have that one. So I decided to go with Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. And so we're going to make a scene with that, like he's singing Christmas carols. I think that's fun. Okay, we'll just put this on here then. We'll just pop this up real quick. Yeah, I think I like it popped up too. I just wasn't sure if it'd be too much for the mail, but it'll probably be okay. I'll just put extra postage on it and we'll be good. When I make cards like this, I do not mind adding the extra postage if I need to. I really don't. It doesn't bother me as long as they don't send it back to me. I don't like it when they send it back to me. So sometimes I put more postage than I probably need. A little gnat on my paper decided to fly in here today. Okay. And then I'm going to put one across the middle just so it's good to go. Just like that. And let's see, it's not going to dip down, right? It dips a little right there. So what I'm going to do is just grab another small piece. The other side seems to be okay, but this side dips just a little. So I'm just going to put one of these in there. So I don't, yeah, there we go. Okay, we're all good. And then I'm going to put it on this card base that I have. But first I'm going to make sure it opens up the right way. Because, if it didn't, that would be so bad. All right, here we go. I like this stuff. It comes off pretty easy. It comes in a big roll and it's lasted a long time. And I do like to pop up, and I do hate to do it with 500 little pop-ups. And then I'm going to center this right about... I contemplated putting paper under this, but I'm telling you, it just didn't look right, and you lost the pretty loops around the edges, so I decided not to, but to just leave the card base there. You can flip it over and press it down with your soda press to make sure you got a good stick there. And now it's really cute. Like, look, it's layered, like multiple layers. I love that. Can you get thicker A2 envelopes? I don't usually have a problem putting that in an A2 envelope. Even with this popped up like that. It usually works, it still fits in the envelope. The envelope's not really the problem. But in case you didn't know, you can ship your cards in, you can put them in an envelope like this, or you can put them in these clear envelopes. All you have to do is put a sticker like you could even put the address on the back, like wherever it's going. And then you just put it in this plastic. I mean, everybody can see the card, but that way everybody can admire your work on the way to the recipient. But they hold a lot. Like, they hold a very thick card. So if it doesn't fit in a regular envelope, I'd stick it in this and mail it like this. And just put your postage in the corner, your address on here, and then the pictures on the back. And you can send it just like that. So you can send it like that. But even double thick, it still fits in these envelopes. We sell these envelopes in the shop. And they even have the rip-off, so you don't have to lick them or anything. But they'll fit even double layered inside this envelope. See? So unless you put, you know, like 4 or 5 layers, then you'd have a problem. But other than that, they fit in the envelopes just fine. So I'm going to put him on here, but I want to make sure his microphone is on there first. Like, I want the microphone to be about right there. And then I want him to be about right there. So I want it to line up just right. That didn't work out very good, did it? Okay. I'm also not a fan of those reversible tweezers. You know, the ones that that you either you let go, you don't squeeze, or whatever the difference is. I'm not a fan of them either because my brain can't do it. And my brain just keeps thinking, you know, squeeze, and squeeze releases it. And I just can't get it down. I don't know what it is. So a lot of people like those, but I can't do it. Ah, there you go. See? Easy breezy. Yep. I haven't sent a whole bunch in those clear, but I have sent some, and they go just like that. No problem. I've received several like that as well. So you don't have to do any of that other stuff, fancy envelopes or anything. There we go. His little ear's going to hang off the edge of the card, which is really cute. I am using this as a Christmas card, you guys, for sure. I want to make sure I press that down. And then we have let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And I'm just going to put that across here, so I don't need glue on the ends because this is longer than that panel. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and here. And then we're not going to put it upside down. We're going to put it right here at the top of the card. The Barely Art glue lets you move it around a bit till you get it straightened the way that you want it. Right, just like that. And I'm okay with them hanging off the edge. They don't need glue on there. So cute. I don't like reversible tweezers either. Wow, it's nice to finally meet somebody who doesn't like them either. I had a pair one time, and it drove me so crazy that I just threw them away. It just made me crazy in the head. I can't do it. Okay, I'm grabbing my bling bling so we can bling it up. Oh, you like the card? Yay! I think I could use the clear blue sparkle, or I could use the white, but yeah, I think I am going to go for the white. I forgot about the white till I just opened it up. I think I'm going to use the pearl from our shop because I think they're going to be perfect. This is going to look like snow. I mean, he's asking for snow, so we want it to snow. So we're going to have to add, I don't know, that might be too big. I just want little snowballs. And you could even put them over top of snowballs that are already on the paper. Yeah, so they're in the right place and they fit perfectly. And maybe I'll put one up here. I think that would be great. It doesn't need a whole lot, so I'm not going to put a whole lot. You're not a fan of those tweezers either. I am so glad I am not the only one. every time I say that, they go, oh, I love them. And I'm like, oh, I can't stand those tweezers. But you know, sometimes, like I said, some things aren't for everyone. Just like some people like Copic, some people like Olo, some people like their own brand, Ohuhu. I mean, everybody has their own, you know, some people like, what's that other brand name? Spectra Noir. Some people love them. Some people love the ones from Stampin' Up. It just, you know, everybody's different, and it's okay. It's okay to like some things and not like others. All right, here we go. I know people that like that that little gun thingy, really like it. That the people that really like that device, they really like it. There are not as many that don't, that is for sure. Okie dokie. Now, even these will be on sale, so if you don't have these, you might want to watch for that Black Friday sale, because this is awesome. Oh, yes, I love to do that. I love, love, love to do that. Yes, this is going to be my little Christmas card, and it's cute. It matches up with Christmas. It looks great. Not a problem. Also, the free digital stamp set that has the party hats in it, I left them fairly vague, so you could make them a Christmas hat as well. It could be like a little Santa hat, depending on what color you make it. So you could have Santa hats on your little guys too. So trying to think outside of the box. I am glad you guys like it. Here it is. Oh, I put it on there upside down. No joke. After we talked about it, I did it. Look, look.
Oh, gee.
Do you see what I did? Look at that. After we talked about it and I pointed it out, I still put it on backwards. What do you think about that? So how many want to know how I'm going to fix that? Because I am going to fix it right now.
I'd like to see you fix it.
You'd like to see me fix it?
Yeah.
I'm about to fix it right now. I can't believe I did that. It's not the first time, but yes, I just put that on the wrong side. So we're going to trim it. This is the way I will fix it. We're going to trim off the fold, just on the edge. And then, because now this one's shorter than that one, I'm going to trim that one as well. And then I'm going to take the new one that is going to open in the right direction, and I'm going to save that and use it for something else. I knew that was going to happen. Cut off the card and leave it as a panel. I could do that as well if I wasn't going to use it for Christmas, but I am going to use it for my Christmas cards. Okay, now we're opening correctly. And you take this one and you just put the glue around it. You could even change the color if you really wanted to. Then you put this directly on top of the top panel. I'm going to stand it up to make sure it's exactly perfectly straight. It's right on top of my panel. This one over here was a little bit longer than the other one. See how it hangs off the edge? So I'm going to trim that just so I don't have too much on the edge. Ooh, it's bumped up too much for that. So I'll just use my scissors because I have no fear. Man, I was so mad at myself. Everybody has done it. It's not a big deal. And it gives me the opportunity to share how I would fix it and what it would look like. So I trimmed off that excess. There we go. There is a small little, if you look at it close enough, you'll see that there's a little bit of a drop there. But it's not enough that anyone who receives the card is going to look at it and go, oh, something's messed up on this one. I'm hanging off the edge just a tad bit up here, so I'm going to trim that off too. Yeah, there we go. Nobody's going to notice it. I bet you I even take pictures and no one would ever know the difference. They would never be able to pick that out. If that drop right there bothers you, you could always cut that off and make the card just slightly shorter. But I'm okay with it, so I'm going to leave it there. I could also put a sticker along there, like some kind of silver or something to make it just a little bit more fancy. But you can do whatever you want, and now it opens in the right direction. I know back in the day we used to say, oh, throw it away and start over. I don't do that. That's exactly what you did when you glued it wrong. See? We can't waste them. If I really felt worried about it not being the perfect size, I also could have cut it like underneath here where this line is. So you couldn't see that, and then put this whole piece on top of the red and you wouldn't have been able to see it. So there are several ways you can fix it, but that's the quick and easy one. And it works just fine. And now it's all fixed. Yay! See, we can fix anything. And happy accidents is what's his name used to call them. Happy accidents. That guy who used to paint. I can't think of his name. But anyway, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. On Thursday at 8 Central, we'll be coloring again. We'll be using the new releases. So definitely let me know if there's something in particular you'd like to see. If you want to see more Christmas, we can do that. If you want to see another holiday, we can do that. Just let me know what you'd like to see and we'll do. That's it, Beth, Bob Ross. And we can do whatever you guys want. I've started doing some more speed coloring, so make sure you're checking out our YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok for those so that you can see those. And then if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe because it helps our channel grow. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. Good night.